Steve Jobs, one of the most innovative leaders of our time. And boy, is there a lot to learn from him when it comes to presentations. I mean, the guy was just so good. But have you ever sat to wonder what makes his presentation so memorable and entertaining? Because some would argue that he was the one person who changed everyone's mind on what makes a presentation actually good. In a world of long, boring, and uninspired slides, one man must stand tall to present his presentation techniques that will completely change the game. Bit much? In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 principles that Mr. Jobs used in his presentations that we can use in our own. But before we dive right in, if you'd like to hear some insights about the creative industry, why don't you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, because a lot of fun content is coming right up. So how did Mr. Steve give such incredible presentations? Well, Steve Jobs was known for the friendly and open demeanor he had when he was presenting. He avoided any technical mumbo-jumbo that wouldn't make any sense to the audience, but instead kept his ideas straightforward with quick, memorable titles. That's why everything at Apple has a cool name, even the components sometimes. The Retina display, cinematic mode, the magic mouse. As opposed to other companies that might not even name their products or give them confusing and weird names like Mouse G47321. He was also a showman when he presented. He was enthusiastic, he told stories, he had incredible body language, and he told jokes sometimes, and all that made him a million times more approachable. But enough with the crush on Mr. Steve. Let's talk about what we can actually learn from him. What stuff can we do to our presentation so that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree?
No! God, please, no! No!
Use a compelling theme and title to your presentation. Come up with a headline and a general theme for your presentation that run through the entire deck as an underlying message. This headline should be short enough to be easily memorable and tweetable. Xable. Whatever, you get the point. Think back to the iPhone launch way back in 2007. Steve Jobs chose the headline, "Your life in your pocket." Think about the theme of your presentation. What do you want your audience to walk away remembering? You take that and you compress it all down into one memorable catchphrase. Engage the audience by telling a story. In case we haven't made it very clear in our previous videos, telling a story hits people right in the feels. It's not only fun and engaging, but it also helps your message resonate very well with your audience. It's a well-known fact that a story is a leader's most powerful tool to inspire, educate, and motivate. And according to a study done by Jerome Bruner, facts are 20 times as likely to be remembered when they're contextualized within a story. Like Steve Jobs, you could frame your narrative around your problem being the supervillain, and you and your company, well, you're the superheroes. Paint a picture of how your product or service defeated this problem and emerged victorious. Simplify bigger numbers. Simplifying larger numbers ensures that the people can grasp the facts a lot easier. For instance, Steve would say, "We sold 2 million iPods in the first 59 days. And then give it context by adding, "That's almost 34,000 iPods every single day." In 2013, Apple reached 25 billion songs downloaded from iTunes. And he simplified the numbers so it was easier to understand. He'd say something like, "On average, that's 15,000 songs every minute." His whole shtick was to simplify bigger ideas. Don't leave your audience confused. Connect the dots and explain only the numbers that they need to know. Using compelling visuals. Studies find that using images increases your audience's information retention. Since most people are visual learners, they'd pick up on information a lot faster if it was delivered, well, through visuals. Jobs used pictures that were big and bold and almost never used more than 2 in one slide. Back to the iPhone launch we talked about earlier, he used 3 images to highlight the capabilities of the iPhone. I mean, we all remember the speech, right?
An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator.
When it comes to words, less is more. If you want a presentation like Steve's, you're gonna have to edit and re-edit your words. Leave only the most important phrases and cut out everything else. The idea is to communicate your message in the most impactful way possible and not to have your audience read slides full of text. And one more thing.
But there is one more thing.
You see what I did there? The average PowerPoint slide would have around 40 words, give or take. But Steve, no, sir. Steve Jobs would average 19 words over 10 to 12 slides. Now that's presentation zen. Or presentation. Is that too many puns? Jeff Black, the founder of the leadership development company Black Sheep, boils down Steve's presentation style to 3 things: powerful storytelling, emotional connection, and obsessive preparation. If you're interested in learning more about designing a presentation like Steve Jobs, we recommend this book. Or you could even reach out to a presentation design agency. You know, One that's worked with Big 4 clients, Fortune 500 companies, governments, and even startups. A company that's available for your requests around the clock and in multiple languages. Ring a bell? They go by Preslab, PL. Heard of them? We specialize in not only designing your PowerPoint, but helping you tell your story so that your brand can grow. So what are you waiting for? Hit the first link in the description to get in touch.